Welcome back, everybody, to Pick and Roll, the NBA betting show on the Board YouTube channel, part of the Hammer Betting Network. And we're back at our new time again, 9:45 or just about a.m. Eastern time for some more NBA betting here, looking to start putting together a winning week after another difficult day with some inefficient shooting from some of our players. We'll recap that a little bit later on in the show, but we do have two free picks on the way for you guys. So if you've been playing with us this season, you've been tailing us, make sure you guys have hit that like button, smash that like button on the streams, pump us up in that YouTube algorithm, and subscribe for more content right here on the Board YouTube channel. Me and Pips are live every single weekday morning. So start off, we're going to get into our free pick segment of the show. Like I said, two free picks today. First one is an MGM same game parlay. Second one is a player prop available at FanDuel. So let's get right into it. So this one is the one I mentioned in the chat that we were fixing right before the show, and fixing, well, it's still a great play, and it is in the Lakers and Mavericks game here. We're not going back to Luka Doncic in this one. We are going to be playing against the Dallas Mavericks here, and we're going to be taking Anthony Davis. We're fading him under 28.5 points, and we're going to pair that with the Lakers alternate spread of plus 8.5, and we're going to get a nice plus 138 on this same game parlay, like I said, at MGM. So going under on Davis, but still liking the Lakers here. Pips will talk about that in just a second here. In the second play, we're going to the Nuggets and the Bulls. The Bulls have been much improved. DeRozan was exceptional yesterday, but we're fading him today. DeMar DeRozan under 25.5 points. That is available now at minus 108 at FanDuel. So we got that coming towards us right after the show went live. So those are the two plays for today. Pips, tell us about the AD play first of all. We're fading AD, but we're still back in the Lakers a little bit. Why don't you explain why?
So far this season, AD covered this line in only 5 games, and the Dallas Mavericks. So I spoke about last time on the show. AD is great when he gets single coverage, and when he gets a team that's terrible in pick and roll defense, and the team that's terrible in defending offensive rebounds. Dallas. So these two teams played like 10 days ago. AD had 10 points in 36 minutes. And the reason why he had only 10 points, because they double team him on his post-ups. They like insane aggressive tug on the roll from the corners. So they were just trying to stop AD from getting any easy buckets. And as a result, he had, I think it's season low 10 field goal attempts and 10 points in 36 minutes. Like he played 4 minutes. It was very close game, and he got 10 points. Not even close this line. And even when he scored, it was like transition dunk, offensive putback, and like one fouling when they were in bonus. So like very struggled heavily to cover this. And like overall struggling to cover this season. And yeah, so the second part of this bet is Lakers plus 8.5. They had 2 days rest. Now this is the third day from the Saturday. The game on Saturday wasn't even that like it was a comfortable win. No big minutes for anyone on the team. And Dallas Mavericks is on back-to-back without Kyrie Irving, Grant Williams, Derrick Jones Jr., Maxi Kleba, and maybe even Tim Hardaway Jr. So like that's insane. Like they are like lost half the team, and I think Lakers have a decent players to defend Luka Doncic. So there is no one else on the Dallas Mavericks besides Luka Doncic to score, and they have a decent defense for him with Vendo and Reddish and AD obviously. Yeah. So they can make the life tough for Luka. They are on a back-to-back after playing crazy usage last game. So yeah, I just think even if it's like somehow make the close game, I think like Lakers should cover this easily.
Yeah, makes sense on that for Dallas and who they have available. Maybe even Dallas got bumped up after they still blew out the Memphis Grizzlies. I think it was a blowout in the end over the Memphis Grizzlies. I can just double check right here. So yeah, bit of a taxing game for them. They didn't blow them out. It was a 7-point game, but yeah, like you said, lots of rest for the Lakers. That appeals to them. And for the matchup perspective, we like AD. So let's go to the second play here. We're playing DeMar DeRozan after yesterday he had a massive night. Just going to reconfirm his numbers from the previous game. Yeah, 41 points against the Bucks in an overtime loss. Perhaps the overtime playing last night factors into this, but you're playing DeMar under 25.5 points.
Yeah. I think everyone in the betting space probably already know that DeMar DeRozan in back-to-back is a thing. So this season he averaged seven. Like if it let's just first go to the line. So this season he covered this line only in 2 games when he played less than 40 minutes. So if we have minutes played 25 to 40, he is under this line in 17 out of 20 games. Like his average, it's not even close. Like he's averaging 21.2 points. And if you take a look at back-to-back games, he averaged 17 points this season, which is almost 5 points lower than his non-back-to-back games. Last season, same thing. DeMar DeRozan last season, back-to-back games, averaged 4.5 points lower than in the every other game. So yeah, he's known for like lower usage, lower scoring in back-to-back games. Last night he played 42 minutes, and he's coming into back-to-back games. Earlier this season, he played against the Denver Nuggets, 34 minutes, scored 17 points. Yeah, the thing is, Lavin was out there, and now Lavin is out. But Lavin only took 10 field goal attempts in that game, and DeMar DeRozan still didn't cover. They will play him, probably blitzing him and being Jokic at the level on the screen against him, taking away his mid-range and his isolation. And he's going against Aaron Gordon, which is like very, very difficult matchup for Gordon, especially on tired legs after the overtime and 32 minutes last night. So yeah, he didn't cover this line in a lot of games. He is on back-to-back. He is on back-to-back after 42 minutes. Denver will defend him very high on the screens, taking away his best part of his game. And it's Denver is on back-to-back, but I can see them blowing them out. Like I can honestly see that. Like spread is not saying that. I think it's 7.5, but I can see that. I mean, Bulls did play well over the last couple of games, but they played like teams that are kind of expected them to play well against. I mean, Bucks are struggling, so that's not the issue. Like I don't think Bucks comfortable win like anyone against in this season. So only game they weren't comfortable was against the Knicks, but that was crazy shooting from them. And this wasn't a good matchup for Bucks. The Bulls always do great against Giannis, and they do great against Damian Lillard. So yeah, it was a difficult game for the Bucks. Also, DeMar 41 points against the Bucks, like drop coverage, terrible backcourt defense, mid-range wide open entire games. Like 41 points against the Bucks. Every player who is a great pull-up shooter had great games against the Bucks. That's I'm just not taking it with a grain of salt.
So there you have it. Those are the 2 free picks. Let's transition into the daily recap of the previous day's bets. And it's getting, I mean, we don't make excuses, but it's getting pretty comical with what we're seeing right now. Like we're on the bad run, and Derek Jones Jr. gets 5 points in the first 6 minutes. We only needed 12.5, and he's out injured, as if they didn't have enough injuries to deal with. And then in the other play that we lost, the other big play that we lost, Vassell, we needed 15 points. He ends on 14. He goes 5 of 16. He goes 1 of 9 from 3, 3 of 5 from free throws. Could have easily covered this late. To be fair, Şengün ends on 15 exactly. So if you played it on our show track play, you had that. If you played it on ESPN, you wouldn't have had that, but that would have been slight. But it's just consistently, like we're finding the right spots here, evidently, with players like Derek Jones, well on his way. Vassell, point-wise, easily should cover. He took 16 shots. He should have easily covered this, but only Cade Cunningham is the winning play, and that is a 1-in-3 day after Doncic goes 3 of 4 as well on the big SGP. Yeah, Pips, do you want to, any thoughts overall, sum up the day?
Yeah, like the last week never ended. We just continuing some crazy stuff. Like, there is no way Derek Jones doesn't cover this line in his full minutes. Like, he was getting great looks and like he missed two wide open threes and still had 5 points in 6 minutes. And the crazy thing is, he didn't come back because he got knee to the quad, like a knock. It's not like some crazy injury. He
Yeah.
was just stuck on the screen, and that's it, which is crazy. I never seen like players not returning after that kind of stuff. But and Vassell, I don't know. Like, this was one of the worst games I ever seen in my life. Like, both teams shooting like 30% from the field. It was crazy. Even like Shingun assist, I think he covered like with 2 minutes left. Like,
Yeah, that was
they couldn't make any shots, like 30% from the field, like crazy stuff. Yeah, I mean, we had insane start. Now we almost gave all back, which is kind of sad. But like, this is like last couple of losses, like 10 out of last, like I said, 6 out of last 10 losses were just some crazy stuff. Winners, and then we'll be all right. But
Yeah,
sad.
we're on the season. We did have that really good run. We're up 3 units on the season, and like you look at these bets that we've made, like very few. I don't know if any of the bets from last week you can look at and say like bad spot, like maybe one or two, but like the rest, I'm looking at like how close they were, and then
AD.
you look at
AD was only like poor back.
yeah, that was the only okay. That was the only one last week. I was like, oh, okay, not maybe not the best, not a great spot to take, but
Yeah.
like the other ones, oh my goodness, like we're getting the usage, we're getting the matchups that we expected, or that you expected rather, and it just hasn't worked out. So once that starts to click again, confidence is here, and look, we still have the viewers here who show out and recognize this as well. We're going to get this back on track, the 2 plays today. And Jamrock makes a good point. Derek Jones being out also did not help Luka's assist line, which was the only thing that did not cover. But to be fair, he wasn't very close on that one. But yeah, it wasn't a great team around him. And it got even worse when Derek
Even
Jones
close.
went out.
Yeah.
Did he have, what do you have, 6 assists, I think? Was it? Yeah, I think it was 6. Anyways, that could have been a great day. And
Yeah,
turns
but
out
he
to
had,
be
I think he had 17. He had 17.
potential assists. Oh my
He
goodness.
had 17 potential assists, and yeah.
Oh boy. All right. Well, nothing we can do. We move on. We have the 2 picks today, but let's go into a bit of a discussion piece to end ourselves off here. So speaking of speaking of being in a rut, the Toronto Raptors, my Toronto Raptors, 4 losses in a row, 9-14 on the season. This is a team that had, to them, according to themselves, aspirations to make the playoffs this season, but we knew the offense would be bad, and it's not good. It's 20th in the league offensive rating wise, but we didn't know the defense was going to be bad. That's bad too. They're 18th in the NBA on defense. Like I said, 4th loss in a row. Knicks beat them 136-130 in yesterday's game. I know a lot, but let's go to Pips first of all. Where do you think the biggest issues are right now in Toronto?
Like, I'm honestly losing a bit of faith in Djokovic because, like I said, like team with Jacob, Siakam, OG, Barnes, Achua, Schroeder shouldn't have any problems being like top 15 defense. At least, like, probably not even top 10 defense. Like, that should be the up there. Like, you have the players that are good on defense, and you just need to figure out how to defend. And so far, like, honestly, like I had like some bets on the Barnes yesterday and rebounds, and he couldn't get a rebound because you guys couldn't get a stop, which is insane. Like like you guys had 2 rebounds in the entire 4th quarter because you couldn't get a stop, which is insanity. Like, unbelievable stuff. But I honestly don't know. Like, maybe switch everything, switch 1-4, play Jacob a bit higher on the level. Like, this deep drop cover doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also on offense, just don't throw away first quarter of every game just and then trying to catch up later into the game with going to the things you already know it will work from the beginning.
Yeah,
I mean, last night lost it's against the Knicks, like okay, like but the game lost against the Hornets is unexcusable, like it's unbelievable stuff.
well, it's not just like you look at this game against the Knicks, you go, okay, the Knicks are better. You lose by 6 points. This is not like if like you look at that, you don't think it's that bad. But like the Raptors took 10 more field goal attempts and 7 more free throws and lost. Like the Knicks shot above 60% from the field and almost 59% from three. Like people are wondering, watch like how are the Raptors giving up so many threes and giving up all these high percentage giving up these high percentage from three because they're always open. Like screen navigation has been awful, on ball and off ball. Just and just
Over helping a lot. Yeah.
over helping, which doesn't really make sense because, like you said, OG's all defense. Siakam took a big step up defensively this season. Barnes took a big step up defensively. Pirtle got traded for like you traded first, and you're paying him $20 million a year to be a rim protector. And Schroeder, like he's not a great defender, but he's not. I wouldn't call him like a negative defender, really.
Yeah. He's okay. Yeah.
Like sure, like the Raptors bench sucks, but I don't even think that's really where the biggest problems are lying. Like the starters are losing their minutes now, which wasn't the case earlier on in the season. So yeah, with Darko, like yeah, this offense sucks. Like that was apparent, but the fact that you can't even like play defense, like the Hornets one, they took 14 more field goal attempts and 1 more free throw attempt. So they dominate the possession battles. They cannot score and they cannot get a stop right now. So you have this team that wants to make the playoffs. That, by the way, has no 2024 first round pick and is 9-14 and has the Hawks back to back, the Hornets again, and then the Nuggets and the Sixers their next 5 games. This is this is trouble in Toronto. I haven't experienced this in a long time.
I just say like Knicks had 140 offensive rating. That's just mind blowing. So when you look at the Knicks and the Raptors, you expect like okay, like if you don't look at any data this season, like just looking at the game, like you expect like okay, this could be like under 200 points game. Both teams have great defense.
Yeah.
Both teams not playing a bit slower side. The pace was 96 in that game, which is very slow, like below league average slow, and it was like almost 300 points game. Yeah, insane. Like every starter from the Knicks had over 50% from the field. Randall was playing great over the last 10 games.
Yeah,
he's insane.
Stop him. Although it took Darko like 3.5 quarters to figure out OG should guard him and not Siakam or Barnes. Like, to be fair, Barnes and Siakam did fine. He was hitting tough shots, but your best defender, put him on the guy that has the hot hands. And people might also be saying, Raptors scored 130. How's the offense bad? No, Mitchell Robinson. They started Jericho Sims. They didn't close with him, to be fair. And no Emmanuel quickly. They had Miles McBride playing instead. Like the downgrade on those two positions is astounding. And the Raptors, could not generate stops. It's absurd.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they were probably without their like third and fifth best players. So insane.
Yeah. So trouble in Toronto. NBA trades are more likely to happen in 3 days after free agents. The people who signed as free agents in the summer are now available to trade in 3 days. But I don't know. With Toronto, you never really know. They're a tight-lipped organization. And the issue right now is that the front office in Toronto might be crazy enough to think that this can still work. So that's probably the hardest thing right now for Raptors fans to deal with, is that the front office seems to be the only people who thinks that this team might be good. Everyone else is like, this team sucks. And you're just delaying the inevitable by waiting longer and longer and trying to delay the process of definitely needing to rebuild this team with Scotty Barnes. But oh my goodness, it is a tough scene in Toronto. Toronto fans down bad, and in baseball fans, we just got rocked with a unfortunate free agent news. If anybody saw if you're a Bates fan, you saw Shohei Ohtani signed for the Dodgers. Right the day after it was reported by credible sources he was going to sign in Toronto. Toronto sports is down extremely bad right now. But we will bounce back. Hopefully, the Raptors commit to a rebuild soon. Hopefully, as well, the show, we bounce back today. Let's recap. We have 2 official picks on for today's show. And we're going, first of all, to the Lakers and Mavericks. We got an SGP for plus 138 odds at BetMGM. Anthony Davis under 28.5 points. Lakers plus 8.5 on the alternate spread. In our second play in the Nuggets and Bulls game, we have DeMar DeRozan under 25.5 points at for minus 108 odds at FanDuel. This one steamed a bit. Play this one up to minus 125. There's a good degree of confidence in this pick. So anywhere you can find that, make sure your line shopping minus 125 or better. That should still be available at FanDuel, but for people maybe catch the show a little bit later on, you can have that as well because the show's going early, 9:45 a.m. Eastern time. Plenty of time throughout the day to catch the pick. So make sure you subscribe to Pick and Roll. But if you want the best lines guaranteed, catch the show live by hitting that notification bell as well. If you're tailing the picks, smash that like button. If you just enjoy the show, smash that like button. Me and Pips, we're going to be back tomorrow for more from Pick and Roll. We hope to see you there.